All right, so we're back for the second portion of the lesson, right? Didn't want to make the video too long, but here we got our next problem here. Again, we're still solving these by completing a square. So again, we realize that the coefficient of g squared here is not 1, so I'm gonna have to make it where it is 1. All right. So what do? I divide both sides by 5 here. And if you see here, I didn't move this over like I did in the last problem because there was another constant there. So I wanted to combine like terms, but since it's not, it's okay here. So once I do that, I'm going to get g squared plus, because 5 divided by 5, so this is going to be 2g, and this is going to be minus 46 over 5 is equals to 0. Now, if there's a constant on the right side, what we're going to do is we're going to move it to the left side. Okay, so when I when I move this on the left side, it's going to be g squared plus 2g is equals to 46 over 5. And again, as you see, once I go across the equal sign here, it goes from a negative to a positive. If it was positive, it would become negative. All right, so this should be becoming simple now. Again, now what we're going to do here is we're going to take half of b squared and add it to both sides. So half of b squared. So b, as we know, b is 2, right? So 2 divided by 2 is equals to 1. So here, I can say g squared minus 2g plus, let me write it so you guys can see the consistency. So it's 2 over 2 squared is equals to 46 over 5 plus, let's do this, 2 over 2 squared. All right, so here we're gonna get this rewrite is g squared plus 2g plus 1 squared, all right, is equals to 46 over 5 plus 1 squared. All right, so if you plug this portion in your calculator, you're gonna see that it's gonna come out to give you 51 over 5 because 1 squared is 1. All right, so this becomes g plus 1 all squared, okay, is equals to, again, like I said, if you plug this in your calculator, you're going to get 51 over 5, all right, because 1 squared is 1, and 1 as with the denominator is 5 over 5. 46 plus 5 is 51 over 1. All right, so you see this one is not coming out as perfect, right? But what we're going to do here is we still are trying to get to g. So what do? Take the square root of both sides, all right? Take the square root of both sides here. So g plus 1 is equals to plus or minus minus. Now I got to figure out what the square root of this is. All right, I got to figure out what the square root of this is. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna plug this in my calculator. So I say the second function, the square root of 51 divided by 5, and I close it. All right, and I get 3.194. I'm going to run it to 3 decimal places. So it's 3.194. So this is plus or minus 3.194. All right, 3.194. But I need to get g by itself. So what happened here? G is equals to, if I subtract 1 on both sides, it's going to be negative 1 plus or minus 3.194. All right, I got two options from this point here. My two options is 1 add, 1 subtract. So I got g is equals to negative 1 plus 3.194. Or I have g is equals to negative 1 minus 3.194. All right, when I add these here, g is equals to 2.194. All right, or here, if I add this, g is equals to negative 4.194. And these are my two answers. All right. So again, this should be becoming a lot easier for you guys. All right. So let's go ahead and let's look at two more problems. All right. So let's go ahead and look at another problem here. All right. So here the coefficient x squared is 1. So all we need to do now is move the constant from the left side to the right side. So if it's positive, once we move it over, it becomes negative. So we got x squared minus 4x is equals to negative 3. All right, we move it from over, positive becomes negative. Now we need to take the take half of the b term. So we know that the b term is negative 4, and if I take negative 4 and divide it by 2, right, what do I get? Negative 2. So I've got to do it a little bit shorter here. All right, so we have x squared minus 4x, and this is going to be plus negative 2 squared. All right, and I got negative 2 from here because we got to do b negative 2 is equals to negative 3 plus, let's do plus negative 2 squared. All right, so now I'm going to write as x minus 2 all squared. So we got x minus 2 all squared is equals to negative 3, and if I square negative 2, I'm going to get plus 4. So we got x minus 2 all squared is equals to 1. Right? How do I get to x now? I got to take the square root. So I take the square root of both sides. All right? So if I take the square root of both sides, I have x minus 2. All right? And this squares cancel here is equals to plus or minus 1. The square root of 1 is 1. All right, so now I need to get x by itself. So I'm going to add 2 to both sides here. So x is equals to 2 plus or minus 1. All right, 2 plus or minus 1. From here, I got 2 options. What are my 2 options? X is equals to 2 plus 1. Or here, x is equals to 2 minus 1. All right, 2 plus 1, so x is equals to 3 as one answer. Or we got 2 minus 1, so x is equals to 1. All right, so x is equals to 3 or 1. All right. All right, again, so from here, guys, if you need to see, I kind of briefly put what we did here to each side. All right, so this should be coming pretty easy. We're going to work one more, and then you guys are going to do some for homework. All right. All right, so here is our last problem. All right, so what I was saying earlier, what I'm going to do, since there's 2 constants here, right, I'm going to move the constant from the left side to the right side before I divide by 4 on both sides. All right, so here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have 4v squared plus 8v is equals to 12. All right, so from here, I'm going to divide by 4, divide each term by 4 here. So when I divide each term by 4 here, it's going to give me v squared plus 2v is equals to 3. All right. Now, what I'm going to do from here is I am going to square, all right, the b term, right? So the b term is 2. 2 divided by 2 is equals to 1. All right. So this is going to be v squared plus 2v plus 1 squared is equals to 3 plus 1 squared. All right, so now I'm going to write as v plus 1. So we got v plus 1 all squared is equals to 1 squared is 1, 3 plus 1 is 4. All right, now I need to square both sides here. So what I'm going to take the square root of both sides here. All right, so we got v plus 1 is equals to plus or minus 2. I need to get v by itself, so what do? Subtract 1 on both sides. So v is equals to 1, negative 1, plus or minus 2. All right, from here we got 2 options. V is equals to negative 1 plus 2, or we have v is equals to negative 1 minus 2. Negative 1 plus 2 is equals to 1. Or here we have v is equals to negative 3. So my answers are negative 3 or 1. All right. So again, guys, what I say here is, we just explaining the steps that we did here for everything. So this should be getting pretty easy now. You guys should be understanding clearly. Again, you got a homework assignment. You got 16 problems. You're gonna choose any 5, and complete it. If you got questions, come to office hours. I'll be more than happy to help you. All right. My job is to help you guys. All right. Have a lovely day.